Hey, folks! Here I am back again, and let me be the first. If I'm probably not the first. But anyway, as we get as 20 December 31, 2023 grounds wounds slowly crawls to the end. Let me be the first to say, hope and each and every one of y'all have a blessed 2024. Happy New Year to y'all as it comes about. Be safe out there tonight. Those of y'all who are going to be out there and partying and everything, please be safe. Yep, I'm here. Back again, NRG Stadium, as the Houston Texans took on the former team that used to play in this city across the walkway over there at the Houston Astrodome, formerly known as the Houston Oilers, but they came dressed as the Tennessee Titans today in the Tennessee Titans uniforms. But the Texans today just sort of disregarded all of that within a matter of 3 weeks. The Titans, and really this score is not even indicative. Final score today from the NRG Stadium, your Houston Texans 26, the Tennessee Titans 3. That's it. That's all they were able to muster today. Texans, Will Levis started today, and the Texans sent him to the showers early. Ryan Tannehill came in, and it was basically, folks. It was a dominant performance today by the Houston Texans today, and the defense was really dominating today. Sheldon Rankins, and we'll start off with him real quick because Sheldon scored his first touchdown of his NFL career. He said he scored one in college, but this is his first one. And Sheldon's been around a while, but it was by another wily veteran, Jerry Hughes, slammed on a sack. And in fact, Jerry was very, very unique how he caused a sack. He actually knocked the ball out the quarterback hand and then sacked him. And then while he had the quarterback pinned, Sheldon Rankins scooped the ball up and he rumbled for about 13 yards. But before we do that, let's hear from our sponsor. Then we'll get back to talking about this game and the fact that about C.J. Stroud being back after about 2 weeks now.
Hello, I'm Ken Ross with the Ken Ross Insurance Agency. There are certain things that are important in our lives: our health, our safety, and our loved ones. With over 40 years of experience, I've seen just how important insurance can be. I value the importance of being a part of my community.
I'll try this one again, please.
Hello.
There we go. Hey, look like we're gonna have technical difficulties on that particular one. We'll get back to that particular Mr. Ross's commercial. But in the meantime, 281-235-5952. If you have not given them a call, please do so. Again, 281-235-5952, 5952, the Ken Ross Agency. It's been my agency of choice for a long time. And just because we're having a little technical difficulties, last week it played good, but for some reason we're having a little technical difficulties.
I'm Ken Ross with the Ken Ross Insurance Agency. There are certain things that are important in our lives: our health, our safety, and our loved ones. With over 40 years of experience, I've seen just how important insurance can be. I value the importance of being a part of my community and being there when they need me. Insurance is important everywhere, but being here in South Texas, it is absolutely essential. From flood, home, auto, and life insurance, let the Ken Ross Agency be your agency of choice.
That's right, folks. We got it. 281-235-5952. The Ken Ross Agency. Let him be your agency of choice. He's been mine for these many years, and appreciative of him, not only for him being able to provide me insurance coverage for all home, auto, you name it. Even flood insurance is done through him. So I am very appreciative and respectful of his professionalism and his business growth and development. In fact, his agency was, I think he's considered one of the top agencies in the whole State Farm network this past year. And kudos to him, and thank him and that whole entire and outstanding agency that he runs. So again, we thank you and thank Ken Ross. Again, 281-235-5952. Let the Ken Ross Agency be your agency of choice. Again, back to the game today. The Houston Texans dominated the Tennessee Titans today. Titans was only able to scratch out a field goal today. And, I don't get into a whole lot of stats situation, but the thing that was dominant today was the fact that Texans, and they had this was another 6-sack game today. Within these two games, the Texans had about 13 sacks. And not only that, but quarterback hits. They had at least 12 quarterback hits today. So if they didn't get the sack, they were actually hitting the quarterback. And Will Anderson Jr. was back, and he gutted it up today. Got back out on the field and had back-to-back sacks in his young and industrial career. In fact, he had 7 sacks today. In fact, he had set the new Texans rookie sack record for him. He now owns that record. He has a total of 7 sacks now. So he continues on his steady way. C.J. Stroud was back he made it out of concussion protocol today. And C.J. was, as I stated earlier on in X and one of my Twitter feeds, I thought he was very comfortable today. In fact, there was an opportunity in the second quarter when CJ, I thought, had a chance. When like the Red Sea opened up, they were around about the 12, 13-yard line. And CJ, looked like he could have ran the ball in. And I think, I'm not sure in the back of his mind, he didn't want to take any chances, take any additional shots, because when that was the opportunity, when he ran with not to say running with just cautiously ran, but he ran. He was smart about making his selections on where, when, and where he threw the ball today. So CJ is back, and that was a difference in the mindset on the way this team performed today. So we it was good to just get him back, get Will back. But the thing about it now, Larry, the Texans, and let's face it, this is not only with the Texans, but this is with everybody in the NFL. This is the 17th week, and nobody is healthy. I mean, everybody's got bumps, bruises, you name it. They got it. Everybody has issues today, and so CJ being one. I mean, Laramie Tunsil and Noah Brown, they left the game today, left for the halftime. Both of them left with injuries today. And, the situation with this team, it was like next man up. You hear this a lot. But this team personifies that, taking that base message of coming and playing with energy. Are they good perfect every Sunday? No team is. But they have been let's face it, a absolute pleasant surprise. In fact, you would probably be shocked if I didn't told you how many of y'all actually thought that the Texans going into the game next week against the Indianapolis Colts will be playing for the conference, playing for the AFC South title. Yep, that's right. That is in their grasp. They're going to have to go. They lost to the Colts second ball game of the season, but here's an opportunity. They go up there and take care and handle their business. They have an ideal opportunity to come back, and if they wind up, in fact, probably will be hosting one of the games on Wild Card Weekend if they're able to just succeed. But everything is in their grasp. They got first option down. They had to defeat the Tennessee Titans today, which I already mentioned by a score of 26-3 today. But now option number 2, and what is a must win, and have to do it on the road. And I think, I think it's sort of poetic justice that they have to go up there and do it on the road, because the Indianapolis Colts came in here and roughed up the Texans pretty good here at home at the early first part of the season. So here's the opportunity with something on the line, and let's see how these guys going to respond. They've seemed like they have been the reflection of their coach. And I got a comment from the coach today that I think points to that issue. So without further ado, I want to let's talk about Sheldon Rankin, who actually scored his first NFL touchdown today in his long and industrious career. Like this, how many you've had in your career?
First one in the league. I scored my senior year, college, fumble return for a touchdown. But first one in the league. So yeah, no, that was as D lineman, you don't necessarily prepare for those. I mean, you prepare for them, but like you just never really think they're gonna be there. So, you know, just happened to be rushing. You know, won my rush. You know, I thought I was gonna get there for the sack, and then Jerry comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, basically what Sheldon was saying. Jerry Hughes actually won his beat quick step. He had won his battle against the offensive tackle, and actually, as I stated a little bit earlier, slapped the ball out of the quarterback hand in pursuit of actually sacking the quarterback, and knocked the ball out of his hand, and then continued on to make the play, and then Sheldon got it and rumbled for 13 yards, and to me, that was sort of like the ball game. And from that point forward, the Texans, that was domination. Derrick Henry didn't get started again this week against the Texans. They were able to just sustain him, keep him balled up. That was just there was no answers. The Titans could not get an answer, figure out and have an answer for the Texans today. Unlike a couple of weeks ago up in Nashville when they came out disguised as the Houston Oilers, this week they came dressed as Tennessee Titans. And not to disparage them, but they sort of played like that today. It was, I was just talking to a couple of colleagues, and just like there wasn't that sense of urgency today from them. It looked like they were sort of like trying to, which was not unique of a Mike Vrabel team. Their team, they compete, and they are being very competitive. But today, it looked like that fire, that will was not there. And by the time they got to the end of the third quarter, it was like they wanted to wave the red flag, because the third quarter ended about a little bit after 2:00 Central Standard Time, and I sort of looked around and going like, man, this game's gonna get over quick, which it did. It got over pretty quick. It was a fast game today. Not a whole lot of passing, but it was more running, and it was passing as needed. So anyway, that was a situation that I thought was a must for the Texans today. As I mentioned earlier, they are, the Texans were able to maintain today. Trying to get to the final stats here, and just to get some other quick highlights, in particular about C.J. Stroud and his play today. But it was something to, you have to sort of take your hat off to this ball club, folks, and the way they've answered the bell, and the way they've continued to compete. And so it was interesting. I know the question was put to D'Amico Ryans, and about how this team has rallied around his message and how they respond to it. Don't think that one want to play. Yeah. Anyway, we'll come back to that one, that particular one. Another question that was put to Sheldon, and I'll come back to Coach Ryan in a little bit. Another question that was put to Sheldon, today was how within a matter of 3 weeks, you having to face this team again. What was it that they had to do, or what did they have to accomplish? And so I would just like to get these comments in and see if I can get this one to play. The way y'all were able to handle this within a matter of a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I think it goes back to execution. I think the plan put in place. Everyone bought in. Everyone was locked in on what needed to be done. We understood, the success we had against them last time. We couldn't rest on those laurels. So to be able to come out here again and lock in on the game plan, and to be able to impose our will for 4 quarters again.
Yep, that was basically what Sheldon was saying was, and I asked him, I said, basically the gist of my question to him was did y'all feel like that it was going to be that easy? He said, the plan that they had in place, they came out and really they took control of the line of scrimmage, and that's, I know you hear that was a cliche terms. Those of us who played the game, and it's still football, it's still blocking and tackling. And if you can control the line of scrimmage, and that's what the Houston Texans done today, they literally controlled the line of scrimmage today, and just pretty much any and everything. There was the Tennessee Titans did not have an answer from an offensive perspective on the Houston Texans, and so the Texans defense basically, as Sheldon Rankins said, they imposed their will today on the Tennessee Titans. And like I say, and it's hard. And I specifically asked that question: how hard is that to come back to a team that you just faced with no matter a couple of weeks ago, and to come back and do it again? And because I be quite candid with you, I was expecting a totally different game today, particularly out of the Tennessee Titans. I thought that they were going to come in here, because even though they had a sub 500 record, I knew that Vrabel, because he spent his time here as a D coordinator and gone over to Tennessee, I felt like that they were going to go ahead and just probably go in and just see if they could, come in here and upset the apple cart, because he knew that the Texans are playing for opportunity that, a win today and a win next week. And guess what? They're in the playoffs. They very well could be hosting a game here in the playoff for the wild card weekend, that the Texans could be hosting a game here. So and that's why I was a little bit surprised at the way the Titans advanced the ball game today. But I think the Houston Texans had a lot to say about how the Titans, and they did have a lot to say about it, as I mentioned earlier. Just clear dominance on the offensive line, as Sheldon Rankins responded to it. There was clear domination from up and down the line. Jerry Hughes, Jerry Hughes, I could say Will Anderson Jr., Gregor, you just name it, folks. And those guys brought the lumber today. As we sort of say in the parlance, they brought their hard hats today, and they went to work, and they came to work today. So from that standpoint, I tip my hat to them again today. They done what needed to be done today. Not a whole lot of what to say. CJ was 24-32, had 213 yards, had a 1 touchdown pass to Jordan Brent. And but Nico Collins, came back, and he's come back from injuries, and he was able to target it 8 times a day, 7 receptions for 80 yards. So decent distribution of yards, and rushing. Derek Singletary, 16 attempts, 80 yards. He had a 5.0 yard carry. So that was good. The Texans overall average from a running standpoint, at least 4 yards a carry. So when you're doing that and making that type of accomplishments, you're doing doggone good. So hats off. They've closed out their season here at home for the regular season. They need to go on the road next week against the Indianapolis Colts, and they will be playing for the AFC South title. That's it. That's it in a nutshell. Can they bring the mail home? If they go with the intent that they have today, if they take the message that they've had from D'Amico Ryans as far as everybody buying in to being able to be aggressive, and as Coach said, go out and just have fun. Let's get back to having fun, but let's be aggressive and have fun and do it in the right way. And as Will Anderson sort of alluded to it by being around the veterans, and one of those veterans that I think has had a big impact on him was Sheldon Rankin, and what he had to say in the Will in this locker room. This is a unique locker room, and you hear all the quotes and the talk about how the character of a locker room, and that was one thing that you probably heard it earlier, how D'Amico Ryans had reset the locker room in the fact that there's the offensive players. No, it's not all the offense on one side. It's not all the defense. You got a dispersions of talent. You got some offensive players and some defensive players. They're all over. There's no one area where guys gang up where all the offensive linemen in this corner and that corner. They all over the locker room. And I think what he has done was create an atmosphere where, everybody feels everybody else's pain, whether you offensively, defensively, special team. Those guys know exactly what needs to be done and what has to be done. So before we get out here, again, let me wish each and every one of you all a prosperous, a blessed, and a happy 2024. Be careful out there tonight, folks. And finally, stay tuned for Chris Gardner, Folks Talking Sports. With folks will be talking sports. And if you have not subscribed to the Houston Roundball Review, the AdMax Corner on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel, please do so. If you have not subscribed to the AdMax Corner channel on the YouTube channel, please do so. We're appreciative. I know we've been getting a lot of looks. I'm appreciative. All the positive feedbacks I've gotten from you all and each and every one of y'all. Apologize for the technical difficulties this afternoon. Still working on with the new laptop and getting everything worked out, but they was able to get them played, with some hesitations. But I think got another issue. I'll get all the little bugs worked out. But like everything else, you try to be perfect, but do the best you can do. So again, as we get ready to bring it to a close, again, let me say thank you to each and every one of y'all. Thank you for coming hanging out on the corner with me. Be prepared for next Sunday. Win, lose, or draw. And it can't be a draw next week. It needs to be a win for the Texans. Those of us, if there's any way for us to see a championship game here with the Texans hosting a championship game. So without further ado, again, this is your man, Adolphus A.D. Moore, about to sign off from NRG Stadium. And again, final score from NRG, the Houston Texans 26, the Tennessee Titans 3. Folks, be careful out there tonight. Have a safe and prosperous 2024. Don't let 2023 go out. Just go ahead and let the old man and just let him go out gracefully. Allow him to grow out gracefully. Enjoy yourselves. Peace, and I'll talk at you later. I'm out, folks. Have a good time. And ciao. We are done.